Hello everyone, Nightsapes here, and today I have the best 7 tips that I could think of for sniping in Battlefield 1. And at the time of making of this video, I am Sniper 18th on the PlayStation worldwide. So I think, at least for the PlayStation community, I can show you some tips that is gonna make you a good sniper instead of that bad sniper. I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate because there's a lot of players playing as snipers right now, so supposedly they're overpowered. But I think there's a fine, definite difference between a good sniper and a bad sniper, because the good snipers get a lot of score per minute, help their team a lot. So I'm gonna go right away to my 7 tips that I could think of right now to make you a better sniper and improve your gameplay and also your teammates' gameplay. My tip number 1 would be get rid of the enemy snipers, because they're your biggest enemy. So you know that during the game, usually the snipers are gonna attack each other because they both go into those places that, you know, they think similarly. And because of that, I think the first priority should be getting rid of the enemy snipers so that you have more space for yourself, you have better position than them, and that you can overlook the enemy without having to worry too much. The second tip that I can give you is positioning, and with positioning you want to counter enemy snipers. So let's say that at the beginning of the match, or if you come in late, they already have the better positions than your team. What should you do? I think the best way to counter enemy sniper position is to go into a place where they can't really see you, like a bush, somewhere, you know, somewhere that is not the place they're gonna be looking at, and get rid of the snipers from there. That way you can clear the space and let your team, yourself, move into those positions. Another thing for positioning would be, I like to position myself so that I have a good look at the objective and I can get really, you know, I tend to get a lot of kills and score from spotting and everything that is done on some objective, like an operation A and B, or A depends, or A, B, C depends on what map and what depends what points. But I like to position myself to the objective, usually from this side, which is going to be my next point, that I like to position myself on the side of the enemy, which means if they're going from, I will just call it from left to right, I want to be on that side so that I can go and hit them from their side, so they don't look at me right away and they don't see my sniper glare, you know, the thing that glares when you look at them. And that way I think they will not counter you. You have a good you're not being expected. I mean, even if they cover they're undercover, they're usually undercover from the front so that they don't get shot from the front, but they don't see you and you have a good advantage. So positioning is my second tip. My third tip would be bullet drop and bullet travel. And since they have been changed from the last Battlefield, which for me it would be Battlefield 4, because I didn't really get into hardline, but the bullet travel and bullet drop has been changed. The way it works now, there's more bullet drop, but also the bullet time travel is faster, which a lot of people say in the comments where I check on the Battlefield 1 players group on Facebook. I've noticed that a lot of people are saying, oh my god, the snipers have no bullet drop, they're so easy to use. Why is that? Well, the bullet travel speed has been increased, so the velocity is faster. That means it's traveling faster. So before the drop actually happens, it usually already hits the target, because let's be honest, we're not shooting that far in Battlefield 1. Especially in operations, there's not so much open space to have those, you know, amazing good ranges of 1 kilometer. Usually when I snipe, I go about from 70 to 150 meters from that range, kind of. Not that far. Maybe I think my highest headshot is 270 meters, because I don't have that situations where I have to snipe that far. So that bullet travel is making it go faster, but the bullet drop, even though it's much higher, because of the bullet travel, it's gonna pretty much always hit someone before it starts to really drop, so you will not feel that. So, but I will still use that as a tip, because I've noticed myself trying to go a little bit too high to go and get that kill. But noticing that this bullet drop is even bigger, but with bigger velocity, you're getting more straight shots. I've noticed that you don't really have to aim that much higher over the target, especially when he's in that good range, so that you don't have to aim a lot higher in on top of him, which sometimes would make me mess up at the beginning because I would actually aim a little bit higher and then I would see the bullet go low, too high. And now I notice that it's actually better to aim just that tiny bit higher, or at the place you want to hit. But going with that, you also want to aim in front of someone if someone is running, but not that much as it used to be. My fourth quick tip for sniping would be sweet spots. Well, the new mechanic that they added in Battlefield 1, which I really actually enjoy, is sweet spots. Like, every gun has its sweet spots, and it has the best range for the damage. So that means if you can hit someone in that sweet spot, you'll get actually an instant kill if it hits in that sweet spot. So, for example, one sniper might have the sweet spot from 80 meters to 120 meters, and if you can hit someone in that range, it doesn't have to be a headshot, it can be a body shot, and it will be a one-shot kill. How I like to use my sweet spot? Well, I tend to use it with the objective. When I see the objective, when you look at it, you see how many meters away from the objective you are. So that way, you can aim at someone and you know how far they are. So you know if you can actually get that sweet spot. So that way you know how far they are. Because there is no rangefinder in this game, so that's how I do it, to find an approximate range of the enemy. Number 5, and now I'm getting more into the team players, because objective, snipe and defend. Well, I usually, when I'm defending, I'm trying to aim somewhere around the objective. I get a lot of defend medals and defend points, because I'm trying to kill those people that are trying to capture the points in operation, because that's what I'm mostly playing this game for. And that's how I try to play, so that when they're attacking, I'm gonna snipe those that are trying to capture those points. Or if they're a sniper, that's something else. But I'm trying to always get those, the people that are capturing, the people that I see they're doing something that could turn the tide against us. So, but usually that's the defensive. But when I go on the offense, I try to first off try to get all the snipers off, because that's gonna help my team from the same thing that I would do, meaning they can attack easier. And then when I can, I try to help get the points too. If I can't, then I will try to get the defenders out of there by sniping them. That's something that I also try, but I guess I get more defensive medals. I think I've played more defensive games. Sixth point would be the flare gun, and I cannot stress enough how important this is. You have two flare missiles at the very beginning of your life. You can get more by resupplying, but I don't see people using it that much. I mean, I've saved myself and my teammates and my whole team, my whole country in the game from death because of the flare gun. The flare gun works like in a UAV. It shows you people's position in a, I don't know, maybe 30 meter radius. I don't know, I'm not sure about it, I didn't check it, but I know it works like an UAV in other games, where you have on the minimap you can see who is there. And one thing, I'm getting a lot of XP from assist, and from that way it's kind of like spotting people. I like to use it because it shows me the enemy positions. I've saved myself a lot of times when I would be outflanked or killed, where I know that I mean, you can just shoot it at the objective. It works like a charm usually. And the best thing, I even get kills with it, because it can burn people that walk over it. And I know that you can burn it quite easily in this game, so it's not a big problem to even get kills with it. But the best thing is, it is a UAV pretty much. You get the mini map for everyone, you let them see the enemies, and it's easier to kill them. So why not use it? And you get a lot of experience, a lot of points. That's how my points per score per minute is way higher than usually the snipers and maybe even medics and all those other ones, because I use the flare gun and spot a lot of people. The last tip, which kind of is like my favorite because I tend to use it because it feels so good, even though it's not really good in terms of KD and maybe help your team, it kind of get a little bit though, is sniping at the airship. I mean, all the positions that you see, you can actually snipe the gunners from. There's 3 gunners, which is one in the front, which is into the, like, it looks to the back. Oh, I mean, in the front there's 2 that are going to the sides, and then from the back there's one that is going to the front. And all of them you can kill. And you can even, if you don't get, you know, you can shoot at them and get that kill. 1 shot, 1 kill, you know, that's cool. But even if you get a hit marker, you can usually follow up with another hit marker through the metal. Actually, just think about where they are and just hit them, because their player model is the same thing if they were just into a different vehicle or on the ground. So I tend to snipe them a lot, and I've noticed that whenever I do that, I concentrate on sniping those gunners. That airship is not gonna make a huge impact on the game, because the only one that is really making the impact is either the gunner that I haven't killed yet or the pilot that is dropping the bombs. But even then, it's pretty much easier for my team to get rid of it, and also for my team to defend the points, objectives and everything else. And it's one of the most satisfying kills you can get in the game. So those were my 7 tips, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I know those are not some amazing pro tips, but I think those tips can get someone to a better level. Especially in sniping, because I know that a lot of people are gonna annoy themselves with snipers, because I know there are a lot of noob snipers at the moment and they get good games just because they're you know, sitting down and you know, camping. But I think you can play as a sniper in a more positive ways. I mean, I've had games where I had 50 overkills and maybe like 20 deaths, 15 deaths, 10 deaths. And that's pretty much almost happened to me every single game after like 10 games on the initial start of the game. And now I'm getting all those games. But I think the point is I'm being in the top of the score not because of my kills, but because of my spots, because of my contribution to the team in the whole. So I think that makes the good player and bad player different. So I hope you guys enjoyed and try to do some things that I used there. Remember, there's also other tips such as you know, the quick talk function to get more ammo, health, you know, thank someone for something. But those are not really good tips, so I guess you guys have to go do with what I just said, and hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys on the battlefield.